What's up, everybody? Mel here. How you doing? It's been a while. Just want to talk a little bit about where I've been, some stuff on the channel, and some thoughts that have kind of come into my mind as certainly there have been some, I would say, things that have kind of been brought to my attention. So I want to kind of address a few things today. I want to thank you first of all for tuning in. Um, so where have I been? Well, as many of you know, it's been probably about 2 months or longer since I put out my last video, since the last video dropped. And, what happened to me? I usually don't let it go that long if I can help it. Well, on May 11th, I got into a very traumatic car accident. I almost lost my left leg. I almost died. If the police hadn't been there as quickly as they were to tourniquet my leg. So, thumbs up to all the police, fire, and EMS workers out there. Guys really are lifesavers, guys and girls that do that. Nothing but respect. But that being said, I want to just address this situation right now. As one can imagine, when you face mortality, it kind of throws things a bit. And I was in the hospital and the physical rehabilitation center for a total of like 22, 23 days. I have been home now for about 4 weeks, as of today, in fact, 4 weeks. But it's been a process. Like, I have to learn how to walk again. It's taken me some time. Now, I'm doing well. I'm healing pretty quickly, thankfully. I do all my exercises religiously, which I'm going to say this. If you have to go to physical therapy for any reason, make sure you do your exercises every day, because it will help you heal faster. I can say that from experience. A couple of things, so obviously my perspectives on life have been shaken up a bit, and my priorities are definitely different. Like, there are times where in the past, I used to just be able to sit out here at night and just plug away at a video game. I really have a lot of time, but like a hard time sitting there and doing that now. It's not to say I don't enjoy that from time to time, I do, but it's not like a dying need. However, I have been feeling more creative. I've been doing a lot more 3D prints. I've still been working on some miniatures and models and stuff. But right now, a lot of my time during the day is spent doing, rehab exercises, working on, there's a lawsuit involved, which I'm not going to go into, but it does take some time during the day, and other aspects of my life. As many of you know, in the past, I do have type 2 diabetes. I have learned very well how to manage that now, and it takes more time out of my day between planning meals, planning what I'm going to have, and preparing meals, that a lot of my day is devoted to keeping me better and health-wise. In fact, I've lost, as of today, close to 50-ish pounds, about 47 pounds since the last one, because I've also been exercising more regularly. I have, in addition to the about 40 minutes of rehab exercises I do for my legs, which basically means leg days every day. I bought a set of dumbbells, so I do supplemental exercises for my chest, arms, back, shoulders, things like that, as well as a weighted ball for help with working on my core. So I do a lot of seated crunches right now, because getting on the floor to do that, not really in the cards yet. It's still really kind of difficult to put too much stress on the knee without potentially damaging it. It's still healing. I mean, we're talking about an injury that went down to the bone, so it's not fully healed yet. It still takes some time. That being said, I do feel a lot more creative, and I've spent a lot of time kind of organizing things, and that's kind of why I haven't been making things, because when I haven't been working on like healing and stuff, I've been organizing and trying to fix things up as best I can. And by the end of the day, sometimes I just lose steam and I'm just like, okay, time to go clock out for the day and just relax, watch a movie, watch usually some streams, or just hit the sack. Um, Also been a little bit concerned. My dog is getting older. I know many of you have probably by now seen my buddy Willie. He's a little white, furry Maltese mix that was a rescue. That is my little best friend, and he's got diabetes as well. And poor thing was not having a good time of it the last couple of days. Thankfully, he's better today. He's got his energy and his pep back. But I got to watch him. You know, it does take some time. So just was worried about him for the last 2 days. But he's doing better now, so thankfully I'm going to take him in next week when the vet gets back from vacation, just to have a checkup and make sure he's doing all right if there's anything else I need to do for him. He's doing good overall. But they're family, so you never stop worrying. So I want to talk a little bit about a couple of things. As first, I want to say thank you. I know a lot of you have been, responding to me on Twitter. Many of you probably saw the picture of me in the hospital, which I was like, I'm gonna type a measure like, fuck it, I'm just gonna take a picture and tweet it out because pain, for lack of a better word, but also an appropriate description, pain. But I really want to thank you all for following up with me and taking some time to check in on me. I know a lot of you did, and I really appreciate that. It means the world to me. Helped me get through things. But I want to say this. Also, I know from many years, one of the things I want to say is, a lot of you have also probably seen a lot of my, sometimes that tend to be, frankly, sickeningly positive, but I just want to put it out why I do that. One of the things that became obvious to me when I was there is the fact that I am lucky to be alive. Like, this is a new lease on life, and I don't plan on wasting it. There were points in the past few years where I let myself get very negative, very depressed, and kind of dwelled in like what do you call it, dark moods. I don't see the reason to invest myself in that. Doesn't mean I don't have my bad days, of course, or bad moments during the day, but for the most time, it's much more beneficial to stay positive and try to be a positive influence in the world. That's why a lot of times when I see people, having a shitty day, I'll say something, try to give them a pep talk or just a kind of that pat on the back to say, hey, it's going to be okay. You'll be okay. So you never know when that's going to make a difference in somebody's life. And that's the truth. It certainly made a difference for me, from you guys. So keep that in mind. So I want to just talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on with the channel. I know I've been away, but there's some good stuff coming up. And it's taken me a while to make this video because, frankly, just busy. So first, let's talk about the big thing that's coming up. Is I've been recording a series of podcasts with Continue and Wild Yaks on cryptids. It's a fun podcast. And it's like cryptids and mainstream media and kind of the effect of things. But I think kind of timely because of everything that's been going on with the Pentagon and their UFO report, which just came out a few days ago. And I've always kind of found it to be it's a little bit of a side hobby of mine, reading things, watching shows on it. And it's a fun podcast to do. And I can't wait for it to go live. We've got one more podcast that we want to record, so we'll have 3 in the can so that we can put it out there. And then as soon as that gets out, we'll all have links for you on Twitter and everything else. We're just getting the kind of the behind the scenes stuff of that finished. The other thing is, I've also personally been looking to do more of an audio podcast on, I make these videos from time to time. I talk about things in the hobby. I talk about sometimes things that are going on in the gaming industry in terms of, uh, what it's like as a content creator and kind of, positive headspace. I want to kind of do that more of in a podcast format on so that, I do a lot more of these talking videos, like where I make these, and I'm love doing it here, but I would like for that to be available audio, and it doesn't always need to be, in cameras. And let's face it, it's been a hot and humid summer for pretty much everybody. And I'm not gonna lie, this gets frizzy. And I am not the guy from Ancient Aliens. Don't want you guys to be tuning in all the time and be wondering if my hair's gonna be out to here today. Not necessary. There's one guy that has it. I'm not going to intrude on his territory. So, but in all seriousness, no, I mean, I would like to be able to do, that kind of podcast and maybe talk about things like music. And I want to have the opportunity to kind of do a separate podcast. So that brings me to my next point, the name change. A lot of you for years have known me as Melkindor. And while that's fine, a majority of you that have known me for years pretty much either call me Melk or Mel or Hey You. And I didn't think Hey You really had the same ring to it as Captain Melk. In the past, I mean, for some of you that know me, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I don't mind. My name is Bill. My real name is Bill. And I've been going by that. And a long time ago, when I was working at record stores and I used to work at a video game, people used to nickname me Captain Bill because that's just how they knew me. It was kind of a funny thing, but I usually was a manager, supervisor, things like that. So yeah, Captain Bill. And I always liked the pirate thing, R kind of thing. And there was a whole persona that went with that. So I thought it would be fun to kind of combine that portion of my background with, the Melkindor that you all know. So Captain Melk, that's how you see me. It's the same guy. I haven't changed. Well, I have. I'm a little bit prettier now. But yeah, it's one of those things. I made the change. A lot of people probably a little bit confused, but I do find it funny to hear somebody say, "Hey, Captain Melk, how you doing today?" So yeah, that's always nice. I got a little bit of allergies today, so if you see me looking funny, it's not COVID, it's allergies. I assure you, I'm okay. I don't really go out anywhere, so. But anyway, so yeah, there's that. So that's why the name change. So if you see Captain Melk, just know it's me, Melkindor, and I mean, I'm hanging out, supporting you, because I always believe in supporting the people that are, have become a part of my daily ritual, over the year that we were all home, or a little bit longer now. So yeah, Captain Melk, still me. You're good. We're good. I promise we're good. So a little bit about some other stuff. I have fixed up my station back there. Right now it's a little dark because saving a little bit on electricity so that I don't have to be a part of any sort of brownouts. So let's talk a little bit about what we're doing in the hobby world. So I've still been getting some cool things. Now I'm really excited to be painting some of these Sisters of Battle, the Adeptus Sororitas Retributors squad here. And I've got two of the newer models that came out, the Elite models, or HQs. And then, of course, this came out, and I've also been working on some Cadians because I got a bunch of them for, like, stupid cheap on eBay. And then they announced Gaunt's Ghosts during their big, was a Warhammer Fest a few weeks ago. And this was a set I was looking forward to. I've been reading some of the novels, and these new sculpts are absolutely fantastic. They're each individual. Like, I have been loving what GW has been doing with the newer models, and that's been really fantastic. And the sculpts have been absolutely amazing, very detailed. And as somebody that's played since the played and painted, mostly painted and collected, uh, but since the mid '90s, it's been really neat to see how much more detailed, how much more uh, intricate the sculpts have gotten over the years. And I did the last big box I got was Cursed City, which we won't go into the whole thing on that. I have something to say about that too, but in a few minutes. But yeah, that's been cool. Um, Cursed City is a box that I'm waiting to jump into, but I'm going to. Also, for those of you looking for a cool deal, I know Barnes & Noble is probably liquidating a lot of their GW stuff. They have some unique products like the Combat Arena box, which if I pull out right now will knock a bunch of stuff over. But there's a couple of other unique board games they have that have some, really cool models in there. Check them out, either online or more likely go down to your store, your local store, and pick them up. I know they'll probably be on discount. So check that out if you're looking for some different sculpts. Now, something else cool that I want to show you all. So 3D printer. I've been, as some of you know, there was that infamous stream from like 2 weeks ago where I got a lot of messages. Mel, you left your stream on overnight. Well, yeah, I had a really shitty setup for streaming on my FDM printer over there. So this two-piece is the result of that. It actually came out super nice. I love the detail. I love the fact that it's really, really, really super lightweight. I'm going to paint this up. I promise. I think the best comment I heard was, I thought you were printing out caramels. And I was like, that's a really, not printing out. I thought you were assembling that with caramels. And I was going to say, that's a really intricate way to arrange caramels. And I was like, wow, it really does kind of look like that when you look at it. Cool. But no, I think if I ate that much caramel, I would probably go into diabetic shock, and that wouldn't be good. So, that being said, yeah, we did that. And I've got some more stuff that's going to come out. I am also working on a couple of other things. We also did this for Eevee because I wanted to see how that would come out. And I was really pleased. The FDM's come a long way since it initially came out. And you don't really see the layer lines on that as it gets laid down. So that's really cool. So I'm gonna paint that up and see how that comes out and looks with all the paint on it. And I'm excited. But the sculpts have been really good, and it's just a useful thing. I've printed out shelves and other things in the background that have been absolutely wonderful. So more on that in the future. Be making some more videos on that. The resin prints have been going well. I've been printing out some other cool things like this. This is not going to show up, but I'm just going to give you a preview anyway. This is Lilith from Diablo 4. It's a tabletop size in very good quality from resin. I'm going to paint that up. I wanted a smaller statue. I do have a bigger piece that I'm going to do, but that will be done in a bunch of parts, and I have to really spend time continuing to hollow out certain things so it doesn't fall off the print bed. So, yeah, because for those of you that don't know, if you print on a resin printer, usually it pulls up like this, and if it's too heavy, it'll just fall off the print bed. So you got to hollow it out in some instances. So, yeah. So it takes a lot of time to kind of do that, and it's something I like doing, though. I can spend hours like putting supports on things, hollowing things out to get them to look right, especially if like it's a commission piece and things like that, which is something I will discuss in a future video. Now, another cool thing in regards is I'm going to be doing mostly creative streams on that. So we'll be doing Warhammer streams, a lot of them. And occasionally I'll do an art stream where we'll work on some sort of like painting or drawing, or I'll do some sculpting with either clay or green stuff, because there's some neat things I want to do. And I have a lot of projects that I've kind of put into the starting phase where I can easily stream them. So that's one of the things, like I said, this whole thing of creativity is kind of where I want to focus my energies, creativity and fixing things up. The workshop here is going to get an entire overhaul as I recover and can do more things, and basically so I can move things around without worrying about like blowing out some of the healing part of what's going on in my knee. That grammatically didn't make any sense, but we'll roll with it. Um, One thing I wanted to touch now, this is kind of going into one of those other areas where I kind of have made other videos on in the past, but I really want to talk about this. It's I've seen a lot of people posting things about imposter syndrome. And it's twofold. It's not just imposter syndrome. It's also like going back and looking at, being very critical of yourself. And listen, I'm going to tell you something. As somebody that paints small army men for fun and occasionally for profit, I'll tell you, it's easy to get sucked into that kind of headset, that mindset, as I always say. And you don't want to get sucked into that, but it's very easy to do. Whether you're producing videos on YouTube or you're streaming, and whether you're making games or whether you're playing games or making things, it's very easy to compare yourself to other people and then kind of try to find fault with yourself. The thing and believe me, this is what I'm going to say is probably easier, is definitely easier said than done. But I want you to, hear it anyway, because sometimes you never know when you're going to hit that one person that needs to hear that thing right then and there, and it makes a difference. So, we all get sucked into that every now and then, and nobody is ever going to, anybody that says, oh, I never do that, they're full of shit. It's an adult channel. You guys know I'm going to swear and damn with the YouTube analytics. This isn't going to be monetized anyway. But one of the things I want to say is realize one thing. You can really do whatever it is that you put your mind to. And yes, it may take a lot of work. And yes, you may have already put a lot of effort into things. And yeah, you're going to have bad days. You're going to have issues with your tech. You're going to have issues with your cams. You're going to have issues with your paints. It'll be that day that you drop whatever you're painting 1,000 times. It happens. Don't let it take over who you are, the fact that you had a bad day or maybe you feel like you could have done better. The thing that makes a difference, and I say this as somebody that's coming out with a different perspective on things, okay, is you have a bad day, you learn from it. You had a shitty match, you felt like your stream could have gone better. You look back and instead of criticizing yourself, just say, well, next time I'll do better. And that's it. You're not perfect. Nobody ever said you were perfect. And I'm not trying to knock you down. Nobody's perfect. The people that think they're perfect are the people that end up stagnating in the end. They don't move forward. They get stuck where they are. If you want something, go for it. And I know that's easier said than done. But that's the truth. Don't let yourself hold you. Don't let yourself become a roadblock to your own progress. Push through it. If you have a bad day and you need to take a day off, take a day off. Self-care is so important. I think we all learned that after the last year. Go out. If you go out, if you're the kind of person that likes to go out for a walk, go for a walk. Take a bath, drink some wine. Don't drink all the wine, just, a glass or two responsibly, or a beer, whatever. But do something nice for yourself. The best thing you can do is do something nice for yourself. And if you think you're not worth it, if you think people are out, let me say something. You are worth it. Because I see that a lot too. I feel like I'm not worth it. And it's a lot of people. Hey, your day's going to get better. You are definitely worth it. Don't ever get stuck in that mental head. If somebody doesn't think you're worth it, that's their effing loss. Okay, that is their problem, not yours. And the other thing I really want to say here is remember, if people are acting like jerks to you and screw them. You don't need them in your life. If somebody is making you feel bad, they're a part of your life that you don't need. And that's the truth. The thing that I've learned that, and this is not something I learned from anywhere else. You guys and girls out there, I say guys, I mean everybody. Don't, everybody here that has reached out, checked in, there's one thing I can say. You're the ones that show everybody what it actually is to care. You don't want to surround yourself with people that don't give a flying F about you. I'm censoring myself with the swearing. Because why bother? Who cares what they think? They're not worth your time. It's about surrounding yourself with the people that care about you, and you'll know who they are. If you've built a community up, you know who they are. If you your friends, people who reach out, they see you're having a bad day, and it doesn't matter if it's just somebody on the internet that's just like, hey, I saw you're having a bad day. Just want you to know, hang in there. It'll get better. Sometimes that's all you need to hear. Remember that. And I'm going to leave you with those positive thoughts. This will pass. Whatever you're going through, to different extents, whether it's something terrible or something that's just come up, things do get better. Things do turn around. You got to hang in there and think as positive as you can. Because I'll tell you, it would have been very easy for me to sink in and dwell on, oh, woe is me, and look at all the shit that happened to me. But I don't let it get to me. Sometimes there's that whole PTSD, which I do have from the accident. It was a traumatic event. And it overwhelms me and I cry or I get scared. I don't get angry and I don't have guilt because it's not that kind of, nobody else was injured. I was injured. So it's more of an existential thing and it'll work itself out. And I am seeing somebody for help with that. But, hang in there. I know things work out one way or the other. And just remember that. You'll be okay. And you know what? If you ever have a problem, you can find me on social media. All the links are down below. And I'm around. And we're all around. We're breathing. That's a good thing. Trust me. Anyway, let me leave you with a positive thought. Hopefully the weather will calm down. Mother Nature seems to decide that it's a good time to roast most of the continental U.S. right now. So hopefully you guys out in the far west, hopefully the heat will break soon and you guys can, not be mostly cooking in your houses. It's been hot as hell here too. We had 100 degrees yesterday, which is still not as hot as it was, but that's unusual for the Northeast. So, but it seems to be cooling down. So just stay safe, stay well as always. And you know what? They'll get better. Things will get better. So just hang in there. Whatever it is, just hang in there. You got this. I believe in you. Anyway, before I get to way too long here, I just want to say, the usual, we'll be back with our normal content in the next, within the next couple of days. I'll let you guys know exactly what days I'll be streaming because I still have to kind of work around doctor's visits and stuff like that, which are all coming up. So I'll keep you abreast of that situation. And yeah, but until then, we're going to go through the normal YouTube spiel. So let me, if you like what I do here, hit that like button or hit the subscribe button. They're both free. If you want to support the channel, that's all you really got to do. It's plenty for me, though, just coming by and spending some time here to check out my videos. If you would like to follow me on social media, all the links are down below. And as always, thanks for taking some time to check out my little corner of the internet. Stay safe, stay well, and as always, Captain Mel out.